If you take the best undergraduate universities in the country, I think Notre Dame would be on that list. And then if you took those and said, okay, what are serious research institutions? Liberal arts colleges wouldn't be on that list. You'd probably cut it in half. But then if you ask, okay, on that list, which have a commitment to faith, to spiritual dimension, Notre Dame's alone. And I feel, as a student, as a faculty member and administrator, that distinctiveness infuses everything.
So how do you maintain that distinctiveness?
Yeah.
What are the challenges? What are the opportunities of maintaining that?
I think it's a great question, because I think it's probably the most important challenge. If you can get people together, think about, what are we trying to do here? There's an emerging opportunity here, here's a problem, and they're thinking together. That is what's going to make you strong. It's not that you have something on a piece of paper called a plan, but that people are thinking together creatively about the future. We're not a huge university. We're not so big that we can't get people talking to one another, and that's an asset we have to capitalize on.
I was thinking about the process of innovation, and in some sense how it was encouraged in the strategic planning initiative, where as you think about encouraging creativity, it's exactly, in some sense, breaking down the walls, but in this case, kind of reaching out and saying, what good ideas does everybody else have? And then being receptive to those ideas, that I think allows that to continue rooted in legacy, but with new and creative ideas. So
everybody should be asking questions. Everybody should be engaged in discovering new truths. And I think that's true in business, and it's true in law, and it's true in history, and it's true in every area.
I'm just curious, in terms of thinking of Notre Dame as a global institution or its impact, is it more about taking Notre Dame outside, to Latin America, Africa, Asia, or is it about bringing those students into Notre Dame to make an impact on campus? Where do you see the future?
Stephen, I think it's both. I think when we talk about internationality, it is about understanding the world in a sympathetic way. Understanding those cultures and entering into them through learning a language or learning about them. But it really is about understanding your place in the world and understanding the world around you. And really all the talk about internationality is to get a more profound sense of that. The Catholic Church is arguably the most international, culturally diverse institution in the world today. And that's not an accident. We see a commonality among all people. So if we can build those bridges, we're a more Catholic institution.
When you talked about your legacy and where you hoped to take Notre Dame, you mentioned research. And so what do you perceive the role of research to be at Notre Dame?
Well, it's not about simply adding on to what we already have. It's an outgrowth of a commitment to an institution that's an institution of inquiry, of discovery, of asking questions, of learning. And if we can do that in a better way, a more powerful way, we not only have an impact on our students, but on the wider world. I think to conceive of education in the strong sense as kind of morally transformative of a person, it's about truth. It isn't just about good feelings or good sentiments. It is about truth. I feel because that's true in my own life, I can commit to the institution in a more profound way than I could if that weren't true. It demands all of me. Not just my intellect, not just my spiritual life, not just my moral judgment, but all of me. And I think that's true of our students too. It demands all of us. I love this word, tradition, and that's often has connotations of conservative or the past, but the Latin root of that word means to pass on. I think all of us have been handed Notre Dame with a great history and a great mission, and our job is to pass it on. Now, it can't be like the parable of the talents, where we're going to go bury it and keep it just the same so nothing's ever disturbed. I think to pass something on, you have to innovate, adapt, revise, make it alive for the present time. So what I hope the legacy is that we've received something that was vibrant, valuable, distinctive, and we passed it on in a healthy way, in a robust way, in a way that it can have influence for the future. If you ask me, okay, well, how do you know if you've succeeded? If Father Soren could come back and take a look around and he'd say, that's what I dreamed of. That's what I envisioned. That would be success. That would be success.